Today's video is going to be my first base build on the channel. I've been getting many requests across all my videos for base builds on multiple of my designs. Today's base design have not been featured in a video yet, although it will in my upcoming solo movie, where the base and I was up against an 8-man clan where 80 rockets were used against us during an online raid defense. After that raid defense, I made some changes to the parts of the base that were lacking during the raid defense, and now I've come up with this great design. I can now present to you the Shad Shack, a quad multi-TC base with an incredible wide gap shooting floor, a base created for myself who tend to play solo a lot, but this design definitely works for duos and trios as well. You can obviously fit more people in the base, but it will have its consequences. Before we get into the video, I want to thank today's sponsor. Rustskins.com is an easy to use skin marketplace where you can buy and sell skins for cash. On Rustskins, you can buy items at a huge discount compared to the Steam market. For example, this golden face mask is selling for $78 on Rustskins, and on the Steam marketplace, the cheapest one is for 124 USD. That's almost a $50 discount. Depositing is easy no matter what country you're in. Deposit with Visa, bank transfer, Bitcoin and more. Rustskins has over 50 payment methods, supporting over 75 countries, so you can be sure that no matter where you live, you will be able to deposit and buy some skins. If you want to check out the website, the link is in the top of the description. The base starts off from a 2x1, which makes it great for people who want to snowball and possibly swap server before moving on to the main base. If we go up to the second floor, we have our main living area. We have a mini open core with 8 boxes, a vending machine to broadcast loot, and our second battery. If we go out here, we get out to the compound, and if we go up here, we will get right up to the shooting floor. Third floor is the bedrooms and main electricity. And if we go up another ladder hatch, we will be at the shooting floor, where we have multiple wide gap peaks and great opportunity to defend online raids. The last ladder hatch takes us onto the roof, where we have our roof peaks, but also 4 turrets. That's basically it. Now we just get into the build. As I said earlier, the base is going to start off with a 2x1, so just make a simple 2x1, 2 squares, 1 triangle, and then we add an airlock here. You can place the TC however you want. I usually have it in this corner because it's quite easy to fit the boxes then. Add a frame there for extra protection, and then you can add a half wall here, and then add a shelf on the inside so that you can fit some more boxes. Then you want to place some doors, and after that your 2x1 is sealed. This is going to be your starter base, but also your main base, and that's something I really like about this base. I'm not going to show you exactly where to place all the boxes, I'm just going to say where things are supposed to be. This is going to be a loot room, you can place bags here and workbench here. That's usually what I do. Then I would say farm up a decent amount of stone so that you can upgrade the base to the next step, which is going to be this. Seal it up like this, and you want to make a half wall, a jump up like that, and then seal the roof and make a door here. Then you want to add honeycomb on these 2 sides, just like this. When you've done that, the base is going to look something like this, but we're not quite done with the second step yet. We're going to add 3 triangles here, seal it off, make a half wall, and then you do a triangle on top. You want to take away this half wall because it's not going to be needed anymore, and then you seal it off with triangles. Then you will have to make a double door frame here for the entrance and seal off the rest with bull walls. Then we're going to seal off the entire base apart from one piece. This is going to be the ladder hatch that leads to our bedrooms and electricity, and eventually our shooting floor. Add a slab there, and like that. And then you have your, I would say, open mini core done. We're not going to be placing frames here, here and here. and then we can seal up the base. For the moment, it's quite nice to use these triangles for small furnaces, since we most likely don't have any large yet. And as you may be able to see, this is going to be a loot room where you can fit a decent amount of boxes. I'm pretty sure you can fit about 8 boxes, maybe more if you're really creative. For some safer roof access, so you don't get deeped on as easily, I would recommend starting on the 2nd floor right away. We're then going to start working on the 3rd floor, so just seal all of this off with full walls. And a ladder hatch for entrance to our shooting floor. Then you want to place one wall here and one wall here to separate the rooms. This will eventually be our electricity room, and we can actually place down the battery right away. And this is going to be a bedroom. You can also put some small boxes here for extra storage for your raid kits. And we're actually going to add a locker in here as well. Now the base should be looking something like this, and as you can see, it's quite hard to get into the base, so we're gonna solve that problem right away. Just build out like that, and then you want to do the exact same thing on the other side. Then you simply want to add a half wall, 2 frames, and then you're going to have to jump up here, make a half wall, and then seal it off. This is actually going to be another way to access the shooting floor. So we want to place a ladder hatch there so that we can reach it easily. We're going to be doing the exact same thing on the other side, just a nice way being able to reach the shooting floor and the base itself from both sides of the compound. But for this side we're going to need 2 ladder hatches instead of 1. Now the base should be looking something like this, and we're gonna start working on the honeycomb. You want the honeycomb 2 stories high on both sides of the entrance. Now when the base is looking like this, we're going to start working on the multi-TCs, which will allow us to make a compound and our wide gap shooting floor. We're going to start on the sides where we have our gates, so just place a triangle in here, 2 squares out, and then a triangle again. Then build your way back, and we have our first wide gaps done. We're then going to do the exact same thing on the other side, and then I'm going to show you the other type of wide gap that we'll be using. This one is a bit different. You want to start off with 2 squares out, 1 triangle. 1 triangle here, and then 4 squares out, 1 triangle. Now you want to work your way all the way back with triangles. Place a triangle like that, and now we're pretty much done. Just gonna place 1 square, and then build your way all the way into the base. And it should be looking something like that. And then quickly do the same thing on the other side. These are not connected to anything now, which means that they're going to decay. So we're just gonna build all the way out, or you can actually do it however you want, but I usually just build squares all the way out until I can place a TC. And then you want to do that on all of the sides. And then feel free to make the gatehouses however you want and however far out you want, depending on how you want the compound to look like. I usually just do something like this. And then I like to delete these and have them connected by these instead. I usually make my compound like this, just straight out from the gatehouse, walk over to this gatehouse and do the exact same thing, and then you should be able to just easily line them up like this. Perfect. And that's going to be 12 compound walls. Now when the compound is done, we can start working on the wide gaps. So starting off, you want to do half walls like this, floor on top, and then you just want to build yourself all the way up. These are supposed to be half a wall under, so don't make them any higher than that. And then seal it off with a half wall. We're now going to place a ramp just like that, and then we finish off the wide gaps just like this. You want to add a half wall there, frame, and there's simple like this. And the low walls allow you to possibly shoot heli through these gaps. Then you want to do the exact same thing on this side. When you've done both of these wide gaps, you can actually start placing some stability support here. It's going to be to the left side and the right side of the wide gap on top of the honeycomb. Make sure you do it on all 4 sides, and then you finish it off with a triangle floor. We now got 2 sides where we don't have any wide gaps yet, so we're gonna finish these as well. Just 2 frames like this, all the way up. Make sure you do it on both sides. After this, you just do exactly what I'm doing right now. And same thing on this side. We now have pretty much the shooting floor done. We're just gonna have to seal it off with windows. The interior of the shooting floor is going to consist of 4 windows like this, frames here, and then we're going to have a roof access with a ladder hatch there. We're then going to add frames here for both stability and protection for our turrets that we will be having in the shooting floor. Then you want to get on top of your base and start sealing it off just like this. When you're done, it should be looking something like this. There is actually 2 ways to seal the shooting floor, and if you want to, you can seal it like this. It really doesn't matter because we're gonna seal the rooftops later, but the only benefit that I see of this is that you get an extra angle to shoot heli when it's out. So, do that if you feel like it, otherwise you can just move it. You're obviously gonna want to place way more doors than I'm showing, but all of that will be showed if you go to Builder Sanctuary and you put in the code. All these 4 are going to be turret pods. However many turrets you decide to put is totally up to you. I usually have 2, 1 there and 1 there, or the other way around. Now you want to start placing your triangle roofs, just like this. The rest of the roof pieces are going to be out from the normal roof, and make sure you place them onto the main building and not the multi-TC like this. Now that you have pretty much the entire base set up, or at least the frame of it, you can start working on electricity. So, build up however high you want, and then you can place a windmill up here. And now Since we have large furnaces, we don't really need our small furnaces. So here we're going to place a vending machine so that we can broadcast loot, so we possibly can get raided by the groups. As I showed before, the electricity room is going to be on the 3rd floor, right here, next to the bedrooms. But you can also place a battery down here, in case you want more than 9 turrets, which 9 turrets is the max amount you can place on one large battery. But this will also work great as a decoy for raiders. If they blow in from here, which they most likely will, because most raiders have a tendency to blow in here. This will open up the battery. And when they see that, they probably think that they've gotten turrets, when they actually haven't. When you've placed down all the deployables and upgraded everything to its final state, the base should be looking something like this.